My first beer using a fresh Wort kit. Join me while I take you through the process of making this beer. It is so good, so easy. Enjoy.
How's it, my brew? Today I'm going to start my beer journey and I'm going to make my first beer. I've chosen a easy way to get into it, and I've been saving up bits and pieces of equipment over the last few years, and I've decided that this summer is where we're going to get going. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to use a wort. Now, when I last looked into beers, it was all about these kind of extracts that you use and then boil up again and all this kind of stuff. But nowadays, they just actually have the breweries make the beer stuff before you ferment it, which is called the wort. No, not that kind of wort. The wort in beer brewing is the liquid that is made before you start the fermentation process. So breweries nowadays, they actually do that in these big vats as they don't normally do for making lots of beers. But instead of going through the fermentation part, they actually just bottle it up like this in these big cartons. Or you also get them in like these bags. And all you have to do is take this, put it into a fermentation vessel, which today I'm going to use a demijohn that I've got. And then just add yeast and then let it do its magic. And then after that, you should have some beer. And I've been slowly collecting parts to do it all through a keg, which is what I'm really excited about. So no bottling, all that kind of stuff involved. So this particular wort is, it's called an Aussie Draught. Very, very popular here, made by a company called Kegging now, but it used to be Grain and Grape, a brewery here in Melbourne, just up the road from us. It's made from Pilsner and Vienna malt, and also uses the Hirschbrucker hop for flavor, which is often used in Germany, lagers and pilsners, etc. like that. I think they're used in lots of different kind of beers. Well, anyway, like I don't know anything about these things, bro. This is the first time I've ever tried this. So, like, yeah, cool. Okay, sweet as. So, next part is I've already used sodium bicarbonate in the last day or so to clean out all the vessels and all the equipment I'm going to be using. But then you're also going to use a non-rinse sanitizer. And this is the most important part. Apparently everything I've read and seen, this is the important part. So I'm just going to run through that now and we'll just run through the whole process. So here we go. So I've got the sanitized solution in the bucket here, and I'm going to pour it into the demijohn. And we're going to give it a good swirl around and make sure all the glass bits inside it make contact for at least about a minute, they say. So we'll swish it around, and then when we're finished with that, we'll pour it back into this bucket to then clean and sanitize the rest of the equipment we're going to use. This particular sanitizer is a foam, has got, as you can see, a lot of foam in there. Apparently that's nothing to worry about. The saying goes, don't fear the foam, apparently. I did find out after I got back from the shops that there is actually a non-foam version. So maybe that's what to go for next time, I'm not sure. So I'm also just going to chuck all the other things I'm going to use in here. I'm going to chuck them in the bucket. Because once we've cleaned out this and start the process, nothing that is not sanitized can be used. Okay, cool. So here we go. I mean, I don't know how long you're meant to do this for anything. You're meant to just leave it on there for at least a minute. Is meant to be the thing. So I'll let it just sit there for a bit, give it one more squish around, and then swirl around, and then we'll dump it in here and carry on. Okay. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to get my hands in there, make sure they're all the same, and every time I touch something, I'm going to have to wash. So I've got a little spray bottle here, which I'm going to fill with the solution, and then we'll use that to make sure everything's getting clean. Okay. So I've got my hands all clean now. I'm just going to spray around the outside here. Make sure we got the outside all nice there. And we're going to put this funnel back in here now. Okay. So now we're going to pour all this beer. I'll also have to add 3 litres of water to this mixture, which I'm going to add shortly, about halfway through here. And apparently, given making it get as much as possible is a good thing. I think next time, straight away, I think absolutely get a bigger funnel. That's actually not too bad. This definitely seems going to be easier than one of those goon bag type of contraptions that the other ones come in. But anyway, I'm sure those are also easy after a bit. Whoa, I've got a bit of spillage there. Let's not have any more of that. Okay, right, I think I'm just going to chuck some water in there so it gets all mixed together. Just spray, spray, spray. Okay, let's just get the rest in there and then we can just add some yeast. Woo. We've got a bit of foamage going on here. Don't know if that's normal or not. I think it's just the demijohn probably. The way it spouts up like that. A little bit of extra sand. Sanitizer. I don't know. Anyway, it smells alright, huh? Whew. It doesn't got a kind of beerish aroma, but it still can smell like untamed. Right, this is just the close inspection there. Okay, so the yeast we're going to put into this beauty is called USO5, and that's what they recommend. They've got a couple of other ones, but this is what is in the store. And then you just chuck it in the top, and the yeast just does the rest. Okay, here we go. Okay, so wash the yeast packets, scissors, everything. We're just gonna chuck it in the top here. There we go. Oh, comes up pretty easy. Righto, here we have it. Some yeast just on the top there. And here we go. So now we just close it up. And you want to kind of store it in ideal temperatures, 22 degrees. But anywhere, you know, up and down a little bit. I'm just going to chuck it in the cupboard, see what happens. Actually, I need to do a stir first, quick stir first. Okay, I'm just going to give it a quick little swirl around so all that yeast gets everywhere. And now I've got some sanitizer in the airlock, and we've got the bung, everything all clean. And here we go. So that's the first part done. That's the easy part, I think, anyway. So now we're going to go store it, and it'll come back when the next phase starts. Righto, welcome back. We've got the beer has been fermented. Well, I think it has. It's been a bit tricky to work out whether the fermentation has finished or not. As you can see, we've still got bubbles and stuff on the top, but I haven't really been seeing the airlock bubbling in a while. So after 7 days, I did a test, did a measurement, and then I did a measurement the next day, and there was a change. So technically, in theory, from what I understand, that still means I think it's the right time to put it in thing. It's been 16, 17 days now. I'm a bit nervous that might be too long. So anyway, we're going to transfer it from the fermentation vessel into the keg. Here we go. So let's get this all washed up. I've made sure everything's absolutely clean. I've cleaned the keg multiple times. I've checked all the gas and everything works. So we're just going to go chuck in a siphon over here. And from my understanding, the idea is that you want to let as little air as possible going into here. I think what I'll do is I might actually just chuck it on a chair. So I think I'm just going to chuck it on the chair here because it's a little bit too low. So you want the pipe to be right at the bottom of the keg, so as far as I can understand. So we're going to chuck it in here. So I'm going to take the keg top off, and obviously I've dropped something in there. Now I've got to get the thing out. Yes, this is my brew. You always think it's going to be a straightforward little story, and then something happens. You know, some cock happens, and you're like, yes, this man, it's meant to be easy, but now what was going on here? Now I've lost the seal to the top of the keg. Can you believe it? Well, I can. I mean, if it's going to go wrong, it's going to go wrong, isn't it? Yes, I'm only laughing because, you know, what else are you meant to do in this situation? There we go, I've got the seal. It's going back in the box there, my brew. And now we're going to take the airlock off, and I'm going to make sure this is clean again. And I don't want to get the siphon right to the bottom here because we don't want to get all the cuck at the bottom, but I want to get this thing as far down as possible. So there we go. Let's the siphon and gravity do its thing. And there we have some beer moving. So you can see a little closer view of the siphon. And that's running down into the keg here. I don't know if you can see down there. So just let it go. Anyway, while we're here, let's have a little sniff, shall we? Okay, I think I'm going to drop it down a little bit now. Just to keep the momentum going a bit. Hope this is a good choice. So we're getting pretty close now down to the bottom then. I don't want to get any of that white shit or any of that yeast down there. I'm actually going to chill it out there for a bit, my bro. I think I'm happy with that. I don't think I'm confident enough to put all of it in there, so I'm just going to leave it like that, but I'm going to pour a little bit into a cup. And there we have it, we'll see. So next job I'll do is I'll chuck on the CO2 tank and let it carbonate over about a week or so. We'll see how we go. But here's the beer. Kind of smells like a beer. It's a bit cloudy. So let's just have a taste. Hopefully I don't die or something silly. It tastes like a beer, but like a flat beer. Let's chuck some in the. I'll chuck some just to measure it out quickly. Yeah, let's see what's going on. Let me do it in the sink here before I make a mess. It's hard to check sometimes what the actual level of this thing is. It's not exactly like clear all the time. It's sitting just under that 100 there. So it was pretty much the same as yesterday when I did the reading. I think, was it, or this morning. So I think it is time. But I'll tell you what, pretty happy with the taste of it. It looks good, smells good, tastes good. So I think so far so good. Lekker. I'll check your oaks on the other side when we've got some CO2 and a bit of bubbles in there, and then we can do a little celebration if it still tastes good. Check you later. There's a lot like yeah still, but I need to work out how not to get all the sludge. But that's cool. That's part of the learning process, my bro. So I've just set it all up in this free fridge that I scored. Got the CO2 canister there, and just letting it carbonate now. See if you can see what it's on there. Should be 10 psi. We'll see how that changes over the next day or so. But yeah, there we go. How's it? We're back. It's been about a week-ish, roundabout. And I thought today's the day, let's just give it a pour. It's a beautiful 30-degree plus today. So an ice cold beer would be perfect. So, fingers crossed this all works out well. So next step is we're just going to chuck on a tap here. I've had this in sanitizer. I'm just going to chuck on a little bit more here, make sure that everything's all, you know what I mean? Just get everything nice and clean here. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to pour some first into this big glass, one beautiful 1 litre beer glass, just to flush things out, see if there's a bit too much foam. And then we'll go in for a proper pint. So we're just going to get this guy on here. That's what you want to hear. Beautiful. And I think there, let's just, we've got some pressure. This is closed. So here we go. Oh, it's a bit of foam. And there's beer. Oh my God, check this out. Oh, it smells like beer. Okay. Let's do a proper little pint here, shall we? So I'm going to just get the glass here. Oh, big head there. That's a terrible pour. I might have to adjust, apparently you might have to adjust the CO2. Else I just a shit pour. But let's just have a look at this guy. It's quite dark. I mean, it smells like a beer. I just want this head to chill for a bit. Righto, let's give it a little go, yeah. Tastes like beer. Still tastes a bit flat though, so it still needs a bit more carbonation. So maybe it needs another few more days or a week or so. But oh, I'm gonna have a few of these tonight. Oh yeah. Oh God, that's nice. Can just check here what I've had on the CO2. Maybe I did have it a bit high to start, and then I came back and it was a bit lower. So that's around the 10, I believe. I might just turn it up a slight little bit. But anyway, we'll have to play with that a little bit. But it's looking good. And then on top here we got, that's what I added for the pour. This is the gas. You can see release a little bit there. And then that tap is just coming out here, going into one of these kind of old school pourers. Woo! Yes, Oaks, this is exciting. Oh, now I tell you what, the aftertaste is lovely on that guy. So far so good. Just a bit more bubbles, I reckon. But it's cold. Oh, it's cold. Cheers.